Oh, I got paid today. Bitch. Check is going to be very underwhelming for this one, I think. That was actually way overwhelming. What the fuck? Wait. Where'd all my money go? Oh, right. That's where it went. I totally forgot about that. Okay, wow. Okay. Okay. Now the question becomes, how stupid do I want to be? Take it away, Penny. What up? All right. Back to it we go.
Today, we are going to break down every single game in NFL Week 12, and I'm sure there won't be any surprises or chaos this week. Said no one ever.
Damn right. I don't have to worry about that. It should turn on eventually.
Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. I'm getting really good at catching this specific pen, Grossi, and today I'm hoping that I'm going to get pretty good at predicting some frackin' games, because last week I went 11-4, which is a respectable record. There were games that I was never going to predict correctly, which was the Jaguars absolutely stomping the Chargers. And heading into this week, I am 111-52 on the season, meaning I am in 945th place. I was once in the top 200, you know? Back when I had some dignity and respect. However, still remaining at number one is Iron Cam with a 121-41 record. A huge shout out to Iron Cam, still holding it down. We'll see if we have a new number one after this week. And before we get into predictions, I want to do a big shout out and thank you to you all, because not only have we been launching up in subscribers, we were 69,000 away from 1 million yesterday. Now we are 68,000 away. This show is free, no sponsors whatsoever. It's free to subscribe, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and help us get closer to 1 million subscribers. We're trying to get there before the end of the season, and then I truly promise I will never bring this up again. Starting off with Thursday night football, you got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans. The Bills were able to bounce back because Josh Allen remembered that he was pretty good at football, scoring 6 touchdowns this past Sunday. And it was after a shaky start in which he had a couple of turnovers, but overall, the Bills very much needed this win because the Bills have been a confusing team this season. Their run defense is definitely not good, and their offense at times has definitely stalled out. James Cook, when he gets going, the offense looks pretty good. But on the other side of things, the passing game, it has been a little bit lackluster at times, maybe because of lack of wide receiver depth. And ultimately, I feel like the Bills this year are a good team. They are just not a great team, even though they have a great quarterback.
It's an accurate
They're going to be taking on the
time.
Houston Texans, who won via a game-winning field goal against the Tennessee Titans in an ugly divisional matchup. But again, you never know with these divisional matchups. I mean, hell, ask the Bills when they lost to the Dolphins, so yeah, you never know. And unfortunately for the Titans, CJ Stroud was already ruled out for this Thursday night game, so that means that General Mills is going to step up in primetime against Josh Allen.
Hello there.
General Kenobi, you are a bold one.
And for the Texans, we know who the Texans are. A team with an excellent defense, one of the best in the league, and a very mediocre offense. Whether you're looking at the offensive line, whether you're looking at their lack of a run game because nobody in the world knows where Joe Mixon is. Yeah, it has been a frustrating season on the offensive side of the ball for Houston Texans fans. And taking a look at this game, I think this is going to be a potential low-scoring matchup, and I think there's a possibility that the Texans wind up winning. With that defense, I don't think James Cook is going to be able to get things going, and as we mentioned before, the Bills have had some problems on the offense, and going up against an elite defense may be problematic. However, the Texans, I don't really think, have the offense to take advantage of the bad run defense that Buffalo has, and so because of that, I think the Bills, even though they're going up against a very good defense, I think they're going to be able to score more points here, and if you didn't know, if you score more points than your opponent, you win the game. Someone should have told the Packers that when they played the Cowboys. But I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to get the win
40
here.
points
I
just
do
wasn't
think that
enough.
this is going to be a pretty close matchup. I can definitely see the Texans defense clamping down. But yeah, I'm going to give the edge to
And that's
Josh
why
Allen
I
and the
bet
Bills. And
on
if
James
they
Cook
lose,
to go under
well, at
his
least the Patriots
79
fans
yards or
win.
whatever the hell it was.
Then,
Maybe it was 76.
Oh,
but-
Chicago Bears fans have been waiting for this one. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Chicago Bears. The Steelers able to get themselves a win last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, even though there were punches thrown. Jalen Ramsey was ejected. Jamar Chase is now suspended for a week because he spit on Jalen Ramsey. It's a whole big thing. And for the Steelers, they're another team that has had a lack of consistency this season. There are times where their defense has looked phenomenal, and then there are also times where it hasn't looked good at all. And looking at the offensive side of things, they're another team that if they can get their run game going, like with Jalen Warren, they look pretty solid. And Aaron Rodgers, when healthy, he's able to get the ball out quickly, but there have also been times where that offense has been incredibly stagnant. And now with Aaron Rodgers having a fracture in his wrist, Bears fans are realizing they might not have an owner on Sunday.
Dobby is free.
Because the Chicago Bears are currently #1 in the NFC North. Yes, it is truly the end times here. But the Bears, and I know there are critics who are going to talk about their schedule and the lack of quality
Mason
opponents. And
Rudolph.
listen, I get all of that, and we're about to see how good the Chicago Bears are because just like the Packers, they're going to play a whole bunch of division rivals, and the end of the Bears schedule is not easy. However, if you've watched Bears games this year, they have taken some major steps forward. Ben Johnson has really been what Chicago has needed. On top of that, Caleb Williams is not getting sacked a whole lot this season, which is
It
making
is
a huge
serious
difference.
when it's
And he's made some remarkable
1
throws,
hour
and
and
at
4 minute
times
queue
has
time.
won the entire game himself. On top of that, when DeAndre Swift gets things going, yeah, that is a well-balanced offense. Now, they do still have a banged-up secondary, and they're waiting for Jalen Johnson to return, which will be a big boost.
Big boo.
And taking a look at this game, oh boy, Bears fans, #1 in the NFC North, and if they beat Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be freaking...
I'm gonna have to end stream, aren't I? Yeah, it's way too long of a queue. I'm not waiting that long. Alright. I will sleep now and come back later. If you're coming in, my apologies, but you'll live. I will talk